Hi, Jared. You've just finished what's probably the highest caliber match of your career. How are you feeling and what happened to you out there?
Well, to start off, I lost the semifinals of the biggest tournament of the year. So, to be honest, I'm not feeling that great. I'm feeling pretty worn out physically, and I'm exhausted. I got blisters on my feet, and I'm probably gonna end up cramping at the in the end of the night. Um, Tough thing is, I went up 2 sets to 0, and I ended up losing. During most of the matches throughout the year, that's a win, but because we play 3 out of 5 in the Grand Slams, you can't expect anything out of 5 sets. Even though all the tournaments during the year are 2 out of 3, uh, you come to the Grand Slams and you have to expect to play 3 out of 5 and go the whole way. It's really tough to keep your mind in it the whole time, and at the end, I really started to drift off, and he ended up coming on out on top, uh, probably just because of his mental toughness.
Your opponent said after the match that it's maybe time to shorten the sets. What do you think on this?
Well, I totally agree. I've now done the marathon match twice. I did it back in 2016, and then I did it today, obviously. And to play tennis for 5 plus hours, it's kind of ridiculous. The level of tennis that we play out there, it's hard on everyone's body. And the thing is if they were to keep the 5 set thing, they need to cap it off at some point. I would suggest they cap it off at 10-10 in the 5th set, or even just use a tiebreaker like most of the other Grand Slam tournaments. But I really think that we need to change it to 3 sets because the game is changing.
You had mentioned that the game is changing. How would you say it has changed?
Well, it's faster. The people playing it are fitter, and the points go longer. Uh, there's longer ball rallies. For just to bring out the facts, you got in the 1980s, the 76% of the rallies were 1 to 3 shots, and then as of now, only 40% of the rallies are 1 to 3 shots. So most of the rallies are going longer, um, just because people like playing off the baseline and they're not coming to the net as much. Uh, the rackets have to do with that. You get more power off the rackets, and just the physical fitness of the players. It's easier, I guess, for them to track down balls now as it was before, because everybody's just go go go. It's all tennis.
Did your mind ever wander back to the last time you did this?
Yeah, it did. The mental battle in 2016, it went on for 7.5 hours, and really, going into the fourth, fifth set, I started to think about it, and I started to worry about, hey, am I gonna go this long again? And I hope it doesn't turn out like last time, and unfortunately it did. But it's tough to have that reminder in the back of your head. It's that you've lost once before, and even though you can give everything you got, you can't expect anything.
Did you know that you now hold the record for the second longest match in history and also the longest match at this stage of a tournament? Can you take any type of conclusion from this?
Uh, no, I can't. It's not about how long you play. It's about winning and losing. Both players get tired as the match goes on, and I guess it's up to who has the better mental battle. Um, I feel for my opponent because he's going to have to get up and play in a day and a half, and he's played significantly longer than the opponent he's going to play, and he's going to have a big physical disadvantage in the final. I was on the verge of the biggest win of my career, but the battle just outlasted me this time.
As the match goes on, how are you fueling your body to keep it going for that long of a match?
Well, there isn't much you can do because you only get a limited amount of set breaks, and it's not like you can bring meals onto the court. If you just think about it, in your day, in 7 hours, you could have a full meal or two and a bunch of snacks to keep you fueled to look at your computer screen and sit at the desk. In my case, I need to use maximum energy levels for 7 hours straight without forgetting about my mental battle. Needs to stay consistent, and the big thing here is basically to keep hydrated and everything in between. Have small snacks on the court, but the next thing is the recovery. The recovery after a match like this is the biggest thing to keep yourself from getting injured. This is again where I feel for my opponent, who needs to get up and play again in 36 hours against a really tough opponent.
Lastly, what do you think about the 3 out of 5 set debate?
Well, I'll just draw on the examples from this tournament. My match, it was 5 sets, and it was 6 hours and 36 minutes long. While the other semifinal on the other side of the draw was 3 sets and 3 hours long. The difference is like if we had 2 out of 3 sets, his would have been 2 sets and mine would have been 3 sets, and mine wouldn't have gone any longer than 4 hours. It's basically impossible. The guy on the other side of the draw now is going to have a significant advantage over the guy I played because he had basically 3 extra hours to play on court, and his body's just going to be that much more broken down. And I can only wish him the best. But in this type of situation, this is why the International Tennis Federation is looking into the rethinking of the best of 5 sets.